In Peru, police repression continues against demonstrators demanding the resignation of President Dina Boluarte with thousands injured. Russian President Vladimir Putin spoke at a press conference on the results of the Russia-Africa summit, which was held in St. Petersburg and concluded on Friday. And in Niger, the leader of the mutinous soldiers who detained a democratically elected president in that African country addressed the nation on Friday, 2 days after the military seized power. Hello, welcome to From the South. I'm Ana Marrero from the teleSUR headquarters in Caracas, Venezuela. Moving with the news, stay with us. In Peru, police repressions continuing against demonstrators that demanded resignation of President Dina Boluarte with thousands injured. Clashes continuing in central Lima as government forces carried out repressive actions against protesters. Demonstrators tried to reach the seat of Congress, but the police agents prevented their advance by applying tear gas bombs to calm down the protest. Popular spokesman denounced that a squad of the National Police fired rubber bullets against the demonstrators, provoking a stampede that tried to avoid being hit. During this day of struggle, the group seeks to maintain the rejection of the recent election of the new board of directors of the Congress, for which they demand the closure and the liberation of the former president, Pedro Castillo. In Venezuela, the National Assembly offered details of the calculations after completing the process of credentials presentations for the nominations to form the new electoral power. The deadline had been extended by the Electoral Nominations Committee of Venezuela in view of the influx of candidates for the rectors and alternates of the National Electoral Council. The process resulted in a record number of 153 applicants, which was highlighted by the president of the Electoral Nominations Committee of the National Assembly, Congressman Giuseppe Alessandrello, as a sign of confidence towards the national parliament.
The growing civic conscience of the society, of the Venezuelan people, the trust in its institutions, the hope for a better future would be one of the readings. The other one is that the country, the people, the society says no to the use of anti-politic tools that were used in the past, and the social network are spreading the intention of the new use of anti-politic tools. Whoever has to listen should listen. Whoever has to see, should watch. Here is a message from society about trust, democracy, and its institutions.
José Gregorio Correa, Vice President of the Electoral Nominations Committee and Deputy of the National Assembly of Venezuela, stated that the parliamentary body will be the one to choose the new National Electoral Council.
Time proved us right. Time meant all of us who are part of this committee and those who are not part of it understand that the way was a democratic solution for everything. That whatever we wanted to lead, we had to lead in an electoral center. That all those failed adventures today are simply pulverized more than failed. The confidence in the National Assembly has made 153 Venezuelans of all tendencies from all regions of the country with different professions come to register this National Assembly, which is the one that will appoint the National Electoral Council for the second time.
The United Nations organization expressed concern over the increase in violence inside and outside Ecuadorian prison and the links with drug trafficking. UN Commissioner Volker Turk acknowledged the challenges faced by Ecuadorian society and authorities in dealing with the wave of violence. Turk also called for the state of emergency declared to address the situation to respect the principles of legality, necessity, and proportionality. He also called on the government to apply the policy of social rehabilitation of incarcerated persons issued in 2022 and developed with the technical support of the UN Office for Human Rights. In Brazil, farmers complain difficulties in access financing claims high interest rates limiting their ability to produce food. Raising production costs are limiting small farmers' ability to invest, while consumers are becoming more demanding about the type of and origin of agricultural products. The high interest rates demanded by banks might lead farmers to focus more on a crop yield and marketing than on long-term food security. Former U.S. President Donald Trump is facing new allegations involving him and his aides, asking at Stafford to erase images from cameras at his Florida estate in an effort to obstruct investigation into classified documents. The indictments were made on Thursday in a grand jury update that adds new charges against Trump and another defendant to the case. Associated Press reporter Eric Hooker said the additional charges of obstruction and intentional withholding of national defense information tip to a scale of justice towards new indictments. Let's take a very short break, but remember you can now follow us on our TikTok account as teleSUR English, where you'll be able to see news in different formats, news updates, and more. Stay tuned for more news. Welcome back to From the South. Russian President Vladimir Putin spoke at a press conference on the results of the Russia-Africa Summit, which was held in St. Petersburg and concluded this Friday. According to the Russian president, leaders of African countries attending the summit showed a political will and independence, which is highly appreciated by Moscow. Putin stressed that as a result of the event, Russia and Africa reaffirms their position on the formation of a fair and multipolar world order. He noted that Russia seeks to build strategic cooperation with African states, and they, for their part, have the same intention.
И в первую очередь отмечу одобренную лидерами. Спасибо. В целом же инвестиционных потоков, содержательный и заинтересованный обмен мнениями и устойчивого развития. Мы это ценим.
Comoros President and Chairman of the African Union, Sahil Osumani, says that the summit was also a success for African people because when Russia wins, Africa wins.
Одобренную лидерами. Спасибо. В целом же инвестиционных потоков, содержательный и заинтересованный обмен мнениями и устойчивого развития.
In China, the 31st of World University's Summer Games were inaugurated on Friday in the city of Chengdu in the southwestern province of Sichuan. President Xi Jinping proposed a toast at the beginning of the banquet and warmly welcomed all the distinguished guests coming to China and attending the games. The brand new Dong'an Lane Sport Park Stadium with a capacity of 40,000 spectators was the opening ceremony of the games. With guests from all over the world, including more than 10,000 athletes and officials from nearly 170 countries and regions, the creative team behind the opening ceremony took the opportunity to showcase the city's vitality, culture past, and youthful vigor.
FTS World University Games will officially open tonight. Chengdu is a famous historical and cultural city. Today, Chengdu is one of the most dynamic and happiest cities in China. I encourage you to tour our city, to experience and share firsthand the multifaceted manifestations of the Chinese path to modernization.
Chinese President Xi Jinping met with Burundian President Evariste Ndayishimiye on Friday and praised relations that the two nations have been able to achieve together. The Minier arrived in Chengdu, Sichuan province early on Friday to attend the opening ceremony of the 31st summer edition of the official World University Games. The Chinese president points out that both China and Burundi are currently in a crucial stage of national development.
和共同发展。
Par la même occasion, je voudrais également vous transmettre les sincères salutations.
Between the two countries. I appreciate this very much. China-Burundi relations have withstood vicissitudes in the international arena. The two countries are all-weather friends who share will and woe and good partners who respect each other and work together for development. Currently, both China and Burundi are in an important period of national development. China is willing to strengthen the docking of development strategies with Burundi to seize opportunities, deepen cooperation, and achieve a higher level of mutual benefits and common development. I would like to take this opportunity to extend my sincerest greetings to the Chinese people on behalf of the people of Burundi. Although the two countries are far apart, the two peoples have maintained a long-term friendship. Today I came to the beautiful Chengdu as a guest. I saw that Chengdu and Burundi have many similarities. There are beautiful valleys, rivers, and vegetation in both places, which made me feel at home.
On Friday, Chinese President Xi Jinping met with Mauritanian President in Chengdu, capital city of the southwest China's Sichuan province. During that meeting, President Xi stressed that China and Mauritania should continue to be good friends, support each other, and jointly safeguard their common interests and international fairness and justice. Additionally, President Xi said China will continue to support Mauritania in pursuing a development path suited in its national circumstances and oppose external interference in Mauritania's internal affairs. Let's take our last break, but before we invite you to visit our YouTube channel at teleSUR English, there you will be able to watch our interviews, top stories, special broadcasts, and more. Hit the subscribe button and activate the notification bell to stay up to date on our world's most recent events. For final short break, don't go away. Welcome back. During a press conference, the Chinese government spokeswoman Mao Ning demanded the United States to withdraw the illegal and reasonable sanctions against Chinese personnel, including Chief Executive John Li Keqiang, leader of Hong Kong. For this reason, Chinese officials will not be able to participate in the APEC meeting.
U.S. illegal and unreasonable sanctions against Chinese personnel, including Chief Executive John Li Keqiang, are believed that seriously violates basic norms of international relations. The U.S. side's refusal to invite the chief executive of the Hong Kong SAR, Special Administrative Region, to the U.S. to the APEC meeting by citing those sanctions as a reason is another mistake, which blatantly violates the APEC rules and contravenes the U.S. commitments as the host of the meeting. China expresses its strong dissatisfaction and resolute opposition to this and has made solemn complaints with the U.S.
Additionally, Mao Ning referred to Japan's interference in China's internal affairs and stressed that China's national defenses, constructions, and military activities are justified and reasonable.
The defense white paper has grossly interfered in China's internal affairs, wantonly smeared China's normal national defense developments and construction on naval and air military activities, deliberately played up to the so-called Chinese threats and created tensions in the region. China strongly rejects and deplores this and has already lodged solemn complaints with the Japanese side. China's national defense, construction, and military activities are justified and reasonable, and military cooperation such as joint patrols with relevant countries is in line with international law and practice. Taiwan is China's territory, and the Taiwan issue is purely an internal affair of China that brooks no interference by any external forces. The so-called military balance between the two sides of the Taiwan Straits is completely false proposition. Japan, which bears a serious historical responsibility for its crime against the Chinese people on the Taiwan issue, should be especially careful in its words and actions with self-reflection.
In Niger, the leaders of the mutinous soldiers who detained the democratically elected president in that African country addressed to the nation on Friday, 2 days after the military seized power. General Abdulmanir Tishani, known as Omar, said that the countries needed to change course to ensure its preservation, and that he and the others had decided to intervene to overcome security, economic, and social challenges. In a year, through a statement read on national TV, a representative of the FTS warned on Friday against any foreign military intervention. The statement alludes to a possible rescue operation by the upset authorities.
Despite the arrangements made by the CNSP for a quick return to normal situation, some former dignitaries holed up in chancelleries in collaboration with them are in a logic of confrontation with a view to the extraction of the deposed authorities. This bellicose, dangerous and perilous attitude will have no other results than the massacre of the Nigerian population and chaos. The CNSP is therefore witnessing the national and international opinion on the consequences of any foreign military intervention.
The United Nations International Organization for Migration stated that at least 2,300 migrants left Senegal in an attempt to reach the Spain's Canary Islands in the first 8 months of the year, but only about 1,100 arrived. According to the international body, it is unclear what happened to the more than 1,000 people who did not make it to Spain, and hidden that they might have died at sea, being rescued for overturned boats or being held by the authorities. El Hadji Fall, a member of the organization Fight Against Clandestine Immigration, commented to the AP News Agency that a number of boats that pick up illegal migrants to take them to Europe has increased, a matter that has become a business that some use to make a fortune. They also recorded the testimonies of Ibn Dignet, survivor of the shipwreck. Let's listen.
In comparison with past years, I really feel there are now more boats, especially since the start of Ramadan until now. There is an increase in the number of boats, and there is also an increase in the number of those who are organizing the trips and who are only trying to earn money through this business and make a fortune. There are many people who are discouraged by the kind of life they are living here and who are looking to go to Spain to find work. All of this is shocking. I lost many people when the boat capsized. I lost my friend Abdurrahmane. I lost everything. I paid money. The first time, $420, and $680 the second time. I lost friends. If I want something from now on, I will work, but not from Spain, because it's hard to get there. The sea is not good. I lost everything. I lost my clothes. If I were to give advice, here it is. If a guy would like to travel to Spain, don't take a pirogue. You have to take a plane.
We have come to the end of this news brief, but you can find these and many other stories on our website at telesurenglish.net. You can also use us on our socials. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram as well. For Telesur English and from the South, I'm Ana Marrero. Thank you for watching.